Hello and welcome to Worth Reviewing, and this is the Ford Fiesta Active B&O. It's the same as a normal Fiesta except it's got some crossover DNA in it, which means you can go off-road. Just kidding, it'll get stuck. So in today's video I'll be showing you the main differences between this Fiesta and a standard Fiesta, what it's like to go off-roading, hopefully without getting stuck, and if you should buy one. So, the main differences between this Fiesta and the standard Fiesta is the Active sits 18mm higher. It's also got unique 17-inch 5-spoke alloy wheels, black contrast mirror covers, roof and roof rails, plastic rugged trim surrounds on the outer wheel arches and on the side skirts and on the front and rear bumper, giving it a tougher look. You've also got black number plate surroundings, and this Fiesta comes in the exclusive Luxe Yellow, which does look a bit like mustard if you ask me. Quite expensive mustard because this costs £650. I like it. So let's move on to the interior, starting off with the boot, which has a fairly reasonable size space of 292 litres. With the rear seats folded down, still an impressive boot size space for a Fiesta. Under the boot liner you'll find a sub. Yeah, a subwoofer. Now that is what I'm talking about. Ford are keeping it real. Oh yeah. So moving on to the interior, the seats are fairly comfortable, it's fairly nice in here. The only thing I'd say bad about this back of the interior is that you've pretty much got EasyJet leg room. Nothing bad, I suppose, might be picky, but nothing great. It is a Fiesta, I guess, and the headlining is only available in black. Now that isn't really a problem for me because I prefer the stealthier look, but if people do prefer the brighter and lighter feel in the car when they're driving or as a passenger, that isn't available unfortunately. So as we move on to the front interior, you'll notice yellow trim surrounds, unique active seats, carbon fibre FX trim, unfortunately it's not real carbon fibre, and the Ford Sync 3 infotainment system, which is a lot more friendly to use than the previous Fiesta, as you pretty much feel like a pilot with all the buttons and controls it had. And best of all is the B&O, yes, B&O surround sound system. And it comes standard on this car, as this is the B&O model, which includes a 2.5-inch front centre mid-range speaker, 1-inch tweeter on the rear doors and the dashboard, 6.3-inch woofer on each of the doors. In the boot you'll find a 7.8-inch dual voice subwoofer, a total of 675 watts, and a frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Sorry if I lost you there with all that information, it pretty much means you can do this.
So, you can pretty much have a party in here, and the sound system, it sounds absolutely wicked. That's if you can hear me. Let's go for a drive.
So this is the crossover top Fiesta, which means it can handle off-road better than the standard Fiesta. So right now I'm going to be testing the car's capability off-road. I say off-road, it's a bit of rough terrain, not technically off-road. But I haven't got four-wheel drive with me. I've still got the same standard front-wheel drive as you get in any Fiesta, but I have got a different driving mode. So if I press the driving mode button, you've got normal, eco, and you've got slippery. So what slippery does, it doesn't mean you can act like a hooligan and do handbrake turns, J-turns, and wheel spins easier. It's a little bit more grown up than that, unfortunately. It adjusts the engine with the traction control and stability control. So you do put your foot down and you can feel it's a slight hesitance as the car can feel, oh there's a wheel slipping, I'll knock down the power of the engine. So it does make it a lot less fun, but if the mode's working, as you can tell, going off-road, the car's absolutely fine. It's thinking, my God, I'm just a Fiesta. What am I doing here? But if you put it back in normal mode, you can have a bit more fun. As you'd expect, you can do wheel spins a lot easier, which does make the ride a bit more fun, although it means you might get stuck. So it can handle off-road better than the standard Fiesta, but let's face it, no one is going to take this car off-road, are they? No. Let's get back on the road. So the first thing you'll notice with this car is you can tell it's a Fiesta, although it does sit higher as this is the Active version. It still feels friendly, the steering feels nice and light, it feels agile around corners, and of course it feels fun, which is what Fiestas have always felt on the roads. I mean, who wants to go a long journey or a short journey and for the ride not to be enjoyable? No one. So, helping you enjoy your journey is sitting right under the bonnet, which is the EcoBoost 1 litre 3-cylinder petrol engine, which delivers in this car 100 brake horsepower. You can get the same engine remapped from factory to 125 or 140 brake horsepower, which is incredible with the size engine it is. 0 to 60 in just over 10 seconds, and you're expecting to get between 40 to 60 miles per gallon. Right now I'm getting 38.6 miles per gallon, which isn't bad, it isn't great. And I say it isn't great, it's not bad for the one I'm driving at the moment. A 1.5 diesel engine producing an almighty 85 brake horsepower is available, and if you're wondering, of course this Fiesta is available in automatic transmission. So there are 3 different versions of the Active Fiestas. You've got the Active 1, the Active B&O, which is this one, and the Active X, which is the top of the spec one. The Active B&O starts at £19,500 and finishes at £25,000. That's with all the extras added on. 25 grand for a Fiesta seems a bit of a heavy price tag to me. Now let's talk about the bad bits about the car. Comparing this car to the previous version, the Mark 7, it is a massive improvement. Ford have done really well, to be fair, but I'm just not a fan of the back end. It's just the rear lights don't really work with me. I was hoping they would have grown on me, but they haven't. That is just a personal preference. And if you want a 3-door body style with the Active series or the Active version of the Fiesta, you can't. They're only available in 5-door. The only other bad thing I will say about this car is the gear knob. It just feels a bit weird around your hand. It doesn't exactly mould into your hand like I feel it should do. When changing from 1st to 2nd, 3rd to 4th or 5th to 6th, it just doesn't feel exactly comfortable. I prefer a ball-shaped knob, to be honest, like you get in the Ghinali, ST and ST line. That's it. Bad bits are done. So coming to the main questions. First of all, should you buy one, and is it worth reviewing? Well, should you buy one? No. And is it worth reviewing? Yeah. I've learned something with this car. A lot of companies are bringing out crossover type of vehicles, but the thing is that no one really uses them what they're built for. Now don't get me wrong, well, they are better at going off-roading and are more capable of off-road or the rough terrain. And if you like the high accessibility and the tougher plastic trim surround look, then maybe this is the car for you. But otherwise, save your money. Just get a standard Fiesta. It's just as fun to drive, it's cheaper, and it looks better. A lot better.